our most asked questions about avoiding self-sabotage. Hello, my name is Anna Lagrange, and I'm one half of Baba Business, the Birth and Baby Business Academy.
And my name is Liz Stamford, and I'm the other half of Baba Business, the community membership for birth and baby business owners. Right, so avoiding self-sabotage. This is going to be juicy, I think. And by the way, to everyone listening, we don't rehearse what we're going to say in these things. We literally get the questions, press record, and whatever comes out of our mouth is whatever. So the first question we've had this is, why do I hold back just when things are going well? Oh my, that is so, oh, that's so juicy. I think I know that I can do this as well, definitely, and yeah, it is a form of self-sabotage. And the thing is that you're the only person that can really figure out why you're doing that.
Yeah.
And a great way to do that is to do some journaling around it and meditate on it, and to really figure out, what are the blockers? What are you afraid of? Like, are you afraid of success? Is it a fear of failing, which although maybe sound like the same thing are actually different?
Yeah.
Is it, what is it experiences from your childhood that kind of, are triggered when things are going well? It could be so many different things. It's not for us to say why. What are your thoughts on it, Anna?
Yeah, I mean, it could be visibility, being
Yeah.
visible, and it could be your beliefs around what success mean to you. So, I think that's a great thing to journal on. Is like, what does success mean to me? What does meeting my big goal, my very big goal, mean to me? What does that mean? What would that mean about me as a person? Who do I need to be to reach that goal or to be successful? And then when you start kind of picking apart, like, okay, well, I would need to be, we often have lots of stories, so you might have a story like that, well, I would be neglecting my kids, or I would be completely so burnt out that I would be you know exhausted, or I'd get sick. Or it could be that, oh, to be successful I would have to be more, this is one that's come up for me before with this, I would have to be more divisive, I'd have to be more controversial, I couldn't be, I would have to, say things that I don't feel very comfortable about to try to get more customers or whatever, just silly stuff that we tell ourselves, that are not necessarily based in reality, but often they're based in things that we see other people doing. But that's fine,
Yeah.
because that's their business and that's them, and if that's how they're growing their business, then that's fine. A really common one, I'm just going to really be honest about it, because so there's somebody in the breastfeeding world who, she's really honest on social media, and she really, no topic is off limits for her, and she's very happy to go quite hard on her, on her views, which is fine, that's her views, I don't even disagree with her views, but she really lays it all out there on social media. She's very well known, most people follow her in that world, and she gets a lot of criticism, she gets a lot of people, kind of disagreeing in her comments, and it's generally quite a kind of, the comments can be quite an unfriendly and unpleasant place. So when I have people coming to me for training, or even sometimes to us at Baba for coaching, they'll say, oh, well, I want to grow, but I don't want to have loads of arguments in the comments. And people almost, like, because they follow her, and she's probably an inspiration to them and something that brought them
Yeah.
into this world, they feel like the only way to be a success is to have that in your, as part of your life. So I
Yeah.
have to explain to them, that's just her thing, that's the way she's doing it, and just because you look up to her and you respect her views and you agree with her doesn't mean that you have to create that same environment. I post about breastfeeding obviously a lot. I don't really get much criticism in the comments at all, very, very rarely. And it's not that I avoid that necessarily, it's just that I don't know, I just guess, I don't even know what it is. I guess it's just a culture of my page, or maybe I just don't have enough, my posts don't have enough reach. I don't know what it is, but I just don't, that's just not an environment that I sort of create. So you can post. I've been posting about breastfeeding obviously for 8 years on social media, so you can post about breastfeeding without getting that. And the same with birth. You have similar issues in birth or sleep. I see it a lot in sleep.
Oh,
People
yeah.
feel triggered by something you've shared, and
Right.
that doesn't have to be part of it. May be part of your journey, and that's also fine, but it doesn't have to be. So that's just one small example, a very specific example about the sorts of things that people can get afraid of. But it's so important that you spend the time digging down into why, or what ifs that are holding
Yeah.
you back, because that it will be stuff like this that's sitting in your subconscious, and you're not aware of it yet. So journaling is so important. But it's also the sort of thing we help people with in the membership, actually, is
Mm.
kind of getting to the bottom of these tricky beliefs that make us procrastinate, that make us hold ourselves back, keep us kind
Mm.
of from being visible.
Yeah,
We love helping
I,
people with that.
I totally agree. And I think taking a look at who is influencing us and who we are surrounding ourselves
Yeah.
with really, help or hinder our, understanding who those people are and the influence they have on you can really help or hinder your progress. So being aware of that is really important, because I think it can hold you back. Like the subconscious stuff is like so sneaky as well, isn't it?
Mm.
Once it gets in there and you're not even aware that you're doing it. I remember back in the day, as we call it, and we were kind of making lots of progress in our
Yeah.
businesses. I remember around me suddenly, like the women that I admired in business started, they were splitting up with their husbands. Like it seemed to be that
Mm.
like a big handful of people that we knew, respected, and um like really were inspired by. And I remember, I think I embedded a bit of a belief that was like, you don't want to get too big because your whole life is going to change,
Wow.
and might split up, and then what about the kid and all that sort of stuff. I think that was a bit of a sneaky belief of mine
Very
for a little
interesting.
while. Yeah, so we do need to like do this journaling work, because it can really help us grow once we understand ourselves a little bit.
Yeah.
So this one is, what hidden habits might be keeping me
Mhm.
stuck at the same income level? Oh, this is money mindset, isn't it? It's like, again, it's about understanding how you feel about money, how you feel about receiving money, how you feel about keeping money, spending money, all of those things. You might create a ceiling for yourself because of how you feel about what your energy is, basically about money. And again, it's journaling and those kind of practices that help you uncover those. So it's hard to
Mm.
say what particular hidden habits an individual might have that would keep them stuck at that same level, because we're all different, aren't we?
Yeah. So tell you what, this is interesting. What this question makes me think of, and obviously we don't have the person here, so we can't ask them directly. But if they
Yeah.
were here, we would ask them a little bit. We'd dig down and ask them a little bit more about this. But for me, I almost feel like this could be things like excuses that we make in business that we can't grow. So like, not taking your business seriously or prioritizing everything else over your
Mm-hmm.
business. So, for
Yeah.
example, one that I might fall into is, oh, well, it's the holidays, so I can't, make traction in my business because I'm busy with the kids, or,
Yeah.
I don't have a certain amount of childcare, or I don't, or I'm using kids ones, but it could be something else. It could be like my husband or my partner doesn't support me enough, so I haven't got like, so this person's done really well because they've got a supportive husband who like really bigs them up and helps them with their mindset and he believes in
Mm,
them, but I don't have that, so I'm never going to be as good as them. So I think it could be that sort of like also those habits that we have
mm,
of making excuses and not, the reasons we don't prioritize our business. And if you've got any of those excuses that you use or things that you say about, or even in your head if you're comparing to other people,
yeah.
um you know, those can definitely be habitual. And again, we have to really, journaling's so good for this, to kind of think about, okay, well, why am I telling myself like that? Is that actually true? Is it
Mhm.
true that because my friend's got a supportive husband, or a husband who's a coach, or whatever it might be,
Yeah,
that she's going to succeed more to me? Like, that's just made up. Like, that is
yeah,
absolutely made up, because as far as I'm concerned, some of the women in business are doing the best are like the single mums, the you know, the people who, for all sort, you know, got all sorts of other things that, no, not supportive husbands. So, you know, but we tell ourselves, a bit like you with that kind of relationship one, we tell
yeah,
ourselves these weird sneaky little stories that,
yeah,
like, and we really grip hold of them, because they kind of make us feel safe, because if we don't succeed, or we don't make the income we want to, then we've got something to blame,
yeah,
instead of saying, well, actually, I was standing in my own way because I didn't, you know, I didn't do the work to believe in myself enough, or I didn't, you know, that, you know, it gives us a
mm,
very, these things give us a very easy thing to blame when things don't go
yeah.
the way that we want them to.
Having that sort of self-awareness when it comes to business is really important, and also taking responsibility for yourself and your business is also super, super important.
Mm, it is,
Um,
yeah.
what's the
Shall I
last
read the
one then?
last question?
Yeah.
So, how do I keep, well, we've kind of touched this already, but how do I keep growing without burning out or sabotaging my success? So,
Mm,
I mean, there's almost like two different things here. We've talked a little bit about the sabotage, but I mean, how do I keep growing without burning out? Is this, to me, comes down to what we spend our time doing. There is
mhm,
a little bit here about stories that we tell ourselves as well, but it's about making sure that that time that we have is used really wisely,
mm,
and, you know, remembering that a lot of the stuff that we spend a lot of time doing isn't necessarily the stuff that's going to grow our business or the most important thing.
yeah.
So we talked about this in a previous episode about kind of getting really smart about how we use our time, and having that CEO mindset, and kind of making sure that we are sort of reviewing our business, checking in with ourselves.
Mm.
That kind of stuff is one of the things that can really help
But
burnout, isn't it?
also, and again, we've spoken about this before, but it's important to say it again. It's like taking care of yourself, taking care of your nervous,
Definitely.
and like prioritizing your business, but also prioritizing yourself as well.
Yeah.
And it couldn't be any more important, because we generally, we're women, we're mothers within the birth and baby world,
Yeah.
or we're parents, and so we are spread pretty thinly. So if we're not
Mm,
taking ourselves, then burnout can be just round the corner, and nobody wants
mm,
that. And you can't be successful and burn out at the same time, because it's never going to be what you want it to be. So how can that be
no.
success? So lots to think about there in terms of avoiding self-sabotage. It's such a juicy one. Definitely, we'd love to know what your thoughts are on self-sabotage, and if you've ever experienced it before, or think you are experiencing it. Go over to Instagram and drop us a DM. But other than that, we would love you to like, subscribe, share, leave a review, let us know that you like the podcast, and we'll keep doing it for you. That rhymed.
Amazing.
I'm a poet.
I'm going to challenge you to do that again. All right, everyone. We'll see you next week. Bye.